Goal is to make an impact in our community, in our country, and in the world. She is a strong Christian whose faith has moved many mountains and continues to trust in God for more great things to come. Please welcome Angie to the mic.
Hello. Hi. I've washed my heel. I'm wobbly. Oh, not one of the challenges of a woman. Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me. It's actually an honor to be here, a great honor. So I'm very humbled to be here. Now I'm going to look at my notes as less as possible, but we'll see. So as if you know, my name is Angie, and I was born and brought up in Brazil. I'm Greek descent, and I'm going to follow the questions that Angie sent me. It's so much better to follow the questions. So the first question is, what was I like a child? Very plain. Well, I was semi-shy, not shy, not a brat, semi-shy. I was always taking risks. Sorry, my foot just went off. I was very impulsive, and I was also an open book, but I was a leader. I was always a leader. I remember when I was maybe 3-4 years old, and I had a little boy that was in diapers. He was always following me. And I remember wanting to be an adult at a very early age. So I remember going downstairs with my little teacups, like supposed to be a girl. I was a tomboy, by the way, very much a tomboy. Took my cups with me, filled it up with soil and water, and I told the little boy, drink, it's coffee. We're gonna drink, we're gonna be adults now. Drink, it's coffee. So I remember that, I'll never forget that. So I was a leader. Remember those things at the time, I meant to be a leader. I am meant to lead, not to be led. That's how it goes. I was, until the age of 7, I was one of those children that were born with a silver spoon in their mouth. We were very wealthy. My parents had their businesses, they had a factory, they had stores, we had a beautiful house, I had nannies. I was spoiled. I loved it. We had parties, the best clothes, everything. At the age of 7 years old, my mom decided to come to Canada and opened up their own business in Montreal. So they opened up a factory because my grandparents lived here, my mom's side. It didn't work out very well. My father missed his life in Brazil, so he up and left, and my mom was left with nothing. We sold everything, lost everything. My mother ended up in the hospital. My sister was 15 years old. She had to go to work, and then in the 70s, kids couldn't work. So she lied. She got a job at a movie theater until she got caught and they fired her. So, but her and my mom, that's how we lived. So I thought that my life was meant to be like that. I couldn't go back to the old life. So, going back at that, things changed very drastically. I saw my mom go from an aristocratic businesswoman to a cleaning lady and a factory worker. So that was a huge change. Life was always a struggle since then, and I totally decided that I have to take my life into my own hands, and I have to make a change. So, your destiny is in your hands. You make your life what you want it to be. So this is what it is. So I studied for free. I started my own business in 2010. And this is where I am today. Now, the second question, thanks to Andrea, is what and who influenced me? I can tell you that my pastor influenced me and my nephew influenced me. Pastor Frederica influenced me spiritually and growth in my character, making me believe who I am. My nephew, he's 17 years younger than me. My sister, by the way, who the one that was talking about that was 16 years old, she passed away in a car accident. So that's her son. He's 17 years younger than me, and he's very wise. He lives in Florida, he's got his own business, and he taught me a lot about business, about healthy living. You can see, and finances and family, the value of family. So my nephew is an important part of my life, and so is my pastor. He also taught me, this is very important actually, he also taught me how to open my eyes to see the opportunities. That when you are willing, resilient, and when you persist, you can make thousands out of pennies. You can really do that. It's just be persistent. Do not give up. Try and try again. It is very easy to give up in this world. Very easy. Don't. So my next question is, what experiences influenced me? That's an easy one. Being divorced twice was a big influence. And a single mom of 3. My life was completely changed. I have a question for you guys. I had to be on a crossroad right now. So I got divorced twice. I have 3 children. One who was 10 years. This is my baby, by the way, taking a video right there. And I have a son who's 24, and now I have my daughter who's 30. Then, 10, 15 years ago, when I separated, I did not have a business. So I was left high and dry. I almost lost my home. My kids were very young. Had no clothes to wear. My son is 6'4", and I remember walking him to school, and it was winter, and his jacket was up to here, his pants were up to here, and I was crying, having a little pity party. So anyways, I was in a crossroad, and I said to myself, so how is this gonna be? Am I gonna be sitting on the couch crying, having a pity party all my life? Dependent on everybody, dependent on food bank, dependent on who's gonna help me, and keep crying, saying, why me, why me, why me? Or take life and do something with it? That was the question. What do you guys think I did? Which path do you guys think I took? Wrong. Obviously a pity party. Obviously. What are you guys thinking? So I had a little pity party. It lasted a few months, but my pastor, she brought me out of it. She made me believe in myself, and so did my nephew, that I could do something with my life. The life that I lead is in my hands. I gotta do something with it. Don't depend on anybody. Do what you have to do. Another thing that influenced me quite a lot, believe it or not, I don't know I'm gonna say that, is COVID. Through COVID, while the business was shut down, I decided to learn, like most of you. So I started reading books, self-development books, investment books, real estate books. So if I have to pivot, I would. I was ready. So that was an influence. COVID was a big influence also. It changed my life. So what I did is I took the path. I dust my feet off, and I continue. Now, you have to have a heart for the community. I said that to a few people. In order for your business to succeed, you have to have a heart for the community. It cannot be all greed. It cannot be all profit. You have to think of others. Being good to the community, helping out the community is more efficient than the dollars that you spend. This is what you come out of it. Now, my struggles of being a woman in business. Oh, that's a good one. As a single mom of 3, when you're starting a business and your kids are young, talking about maybe 10 and 12 years old, and then my oldest daughter, thank God she was a little older, it's just a struggle. So I drive in the morning, because kids don't know the transportation business, if you guys not aware of it. So I used to drive in the morning with my first car, and then come take care of the kids in the afternoon, and then at night I used to do my paperwork, go to sleep at 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the morning, wake up at 6. So I was starting to get exhausted. Something had to give. Something really had to give, because you can't be productive when you have so many things on your plate. So I told my children, this is what you're gonna do. Delegate and bribery works. Never fails. Never fails. So they started cooking. I go, you guys are gonna cook, you're gonna do the laundry, you're gonna clean, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. And every weekend we're gonna go on dates. So one Saturday is George, one Saturday is Eleni, one Saturday Dean, and the last Saturday of the month we'll go on a date as a family. Whatever they choose. So they did, that took a huge amount of stress from me, because I was able to concentrate on the business. So then slowly but surely started hiring more people, more drivers, more assistants, and it worked out. So that's my experience. But it is hard when you're a single parent to do both. You can't do it all. Something is gonna hurt. You can't do it all. But I was blessed. I was lucky enough to have great children. Now, what else? My struggles. Let me see my struggles, except for the seal that is about to break. I also remember when my kids were young, another struggle. You want to give everything to your children. So you want to make sure that they go to their hockey, they do their soccer, and again, I was very blessed that my oldest daughter was 20. She was playing hockey in one arena, George was playing hockey in another arena, competition at the same time. Okay, half my body goes here, the other half goes. So thank God my oldest daughter was around, and we delegated. So that's another thing. Oh, by the way, your husband-to-be is going to be very lucky because they're well-trained. They know how to cook, they know how to clean, they know how to do business, they know how to do everything. Another experience that I have when I was starting the business, and that was the beginning, before I even started officially, I had a bad case of sciatica. So I was walking with crutches. And before that, I took some classes with OSEP program. I don't know if anybody knows OSEP. I was on EI. So I took a class, and it was summertime. So my son, who was then 12 years old, and he's a big boy, he's a tall boy, I needed help. I had a laptop, books, binders, everything with me. So I dragged him along. He's only 12, so you couldn't say no to me. Still a good boy. So I dragged him along. He learned everything that I learned. If I die today, this kid can run the business with his eyes closed. He knows everything, from accounting to hiring to HR to everything. He knows. So I'm blessed that way as well. Let me see, what else is here? Okay, what inspired me? Again, God did. And at the risk of sounding corny, God really did. Because, you know, I've had some dark moments in my life, and I'm sure a lot of you, many of you have. One way or another, we all each have a story. There is a scripture that really brought me out of my dark places. And the scripture is Philippians 4:13 that says that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So when I'm down, thinking that I cannot do this, or having a little pity party, when I know that I'm alone because no family, no husband, and kids that depend on me, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That lifted me up. It gave me strength to continue. And many other scriptures, plus also my church prayed for me, so that lifted me up from the dark quite a few days. How did I get where I am now? Through kindness and generosity. I did not spend money in marketing. I did not spend money in advertising, but kindness. Always put yourself in the shoes of the other when you're talking to somebody with a client. So when I talk to a parent, I see her needs. I try to accommodate her needs. When we drive a senior, we see their needs, and I try to accommodate their needs. We go out of their way to accommodate people, not because of making an extra buck, not because of we have to, but because I was in a position once. I was the one that used to come from work and my children were at daycare, and they were the last ones to be picked up. And their eyes, you know, would kind of look at me so sad. I go, Mom, again, and it breaks your heart. So there was a need. I saw the need and I tried to fulfill that need. Also the seniors. There's so many seniors that are so lonely that they either live alone or their husbands have died or wives have died. And they just called Kim. By the way, Kim is my wonderful assistant. That woman deserves $1 million raise. It's coming, I tell her. She's awesome. The seniors will call to book just so they could chat and you know, and have some company. It's amazing. We also deal with some children, and I was talking about on the table, that are a lot of children that are in homes or in foster care, are hurting, or from abusive homes. And I've been blessed enough, that's one of my prayers actually, to send drivers that have a compassionate heart to be able to listen. Because when people are in the car, we're just like bartenders. They, you know, when you get drink and they tell you their whole story. Well, being a driver is the same thing. They tell you the whole story. So I've been blessed enough that my drivers are good. My staff is good. So they open up, they talk, so you know who's being abused. You know who's being lonely. And my drivers are all equipped to do that, to be able to listen, to be able to, COVID, no COVID, a kid was crying, come here, let me hug you. That didn't stop us. We don't stop because of COVID. Compassion is very important for kids and seniors on wheels. Very important. Another thing that I think Leanne was saying about homework. Your parents didn't check your homework. I checked theirs.
Oh no, they did in high school.
Oh, they did? Okay. You know the time that they come, you know, when they're little young, you know those good old days. Oh, I did my homework, Mom. I did it in class, so I don't have homework today. Yeah? Lie. Let me hear your books. You can't be on top of these kids, man. You can't just let them go like that. I have become the secretary's best friend. Oh, she's late. Is she supposed to be late? No, I'm coming. You know, I'm Greek, by the way. I don't know if you guys noticed. We still believe in a little, huh? It is your parents' way or no way at all. So anyways, why am I in this business? We're in this business because, like I said, we saw a need, and we've been truly fortunate to be able to help others. So I was asking earlier, someone was asking earlier, Adiba, about I work with the homeless shelter in Doors of Compassion. So we drive them a lot. When COVID hit and the schools were closed, that's what we're doing. We're driving the homeless to medical appointments, to places where they needed to be. So I have a heart for them. And there's a lot of seniors out there that are hurting as well. So I've joined with the committee, Homeless Task Committee in Ajax, in Durham region, and we're helping out a lot of the unsheltered. Because, and my drivers, we know, my daughter is a driver, my son is a driver. We don't judge. We're not supposed to judge anybody. We're supposed to listen to them. Actually, we're supposed to drive, but we listen to them, and we direct them, and we guide them. And, you know, they feel safe. They don't trust an organization as much as they trust my driver, because organization is different. They have to go by the book. A driver is different. They look at you and they speak differently. So by being the intermediary, we'll be able to say to the agency, okay, you know, this guy's having a little trouble here, you know, maybe you could help him there. So it's an important role. It's more than I have asked for, and I'm very blessed and very fortunate to be able to do that. Now, that's what I'm in business. That's exactly my business. It's truly a gift from God, and I just want to expand, because there's so much pain out there, guys. This is not just a transportation. It is a ministry on wheels. I'm telling you. You see lives changed. You really do.
I don't want you to break a heel before you get back to the table. That was inspiring. Thank you. So my question to you, as I'm listening to all of this, and you have quite the history of challenges. So your current self, if you could go back and give advice to, say, your early days self with starter husband number one, like, what would you tell yourself? What would you look back at? Well, she's had 2 starter husbands. So maybe number 3 is the real one when he comes.
When it comes.
It's funny that we've all had starter relationships, right? But hey, we're here now and stronger for it. So if you could give advice to your old self, like say when you were your daughter's age, what would you, knowing now, what would you say to your old self?
Be independent. Be independent. Like, I was very dependent, because my mom was a single mom, she brought us up, I was very dependent on my mother. So I did not have independency, I did not have any confidence, so I was kind of dependent on my husbands as well. And so it always takes 2 to tango. We never blame my husbands, it always takes 2 to tango. But now, throughout those years that I've been alone, independent, it's amazing what independence and confidence can do to a person, especially a woman. Because they grew up thinking, you know, a man's supposed to take care of you. And yes, it's a nice thing to have a man take care of you. I would love my husband to take care of me, financially, spiritually, but I want to be my own woman. I want to do what I want to do. I don't want to depend on you to go shopping anymore. I don't want to depend on you to, I don't know, go on vacation. I want to go. You come with me. That's what it is. Be independent and be confident. That's what I'm saying. And there's a lack. So we're trying to fundraise right now. So if you guys want to help, by all means, I'll give you the number and the name of the church. Just call them, because we have, not only we have the shelter at the church, which is called Doors of Compassion, but we also have the food bank. We also go out to the seniors. Now, hopefully, the hospitals are allowing us, because for the 2 years now, we couldn't go to the hospitals. Guys, this is upsetting. Sorry, I'm going to go on a break right now. Hospitals, we have seniors, people are dying, seniors that are lonely, and we couldn't go see them. They'd much rather die of COVID than being alone. So now hopefully they're opening up the doors again, and we'll be able to go as a church to be able to see the ones that are lonely, the ones that are dying, the ones that are, you know, alone. So yeah, that's what our church does. It's for the community. That's exactly what we're doing, for the community.
What was it that helped you to overcome the fear of being an entrepreneur? Because I know that it's scary to be a single mom, but it's also very scary to know, as an entrepreneur, you don't necessarily know how much money you're going to be bringing in each month. So if you could share a little bit about that experience and what kind of helped you to take that leap of faith to
Absolutely.
open your business.
Remember, until I was 7 years old, I was spoiled. I had everything. I had the world in my hands, nannies, daycare, you know, everything. So I've known that life. I remember that life. I wanted a life for my kids, and I felt like my hands were cut. I couldn't give it to them. So I was, like I said, the pity party time was a reflection. What do I do? I can't be on welfare all my life. It's not life. My kids are going to suffer. I don't want to be what my mother did. My mom was a factory worker. Nothing wrong with factory workers. Nothing wrong with cleaners. I was a cleaner. I used to help my mom go clean houses. Nothing wrong with that. But I know that there's a better life out there, and I'm going to do it for my kids. And you got to do it too. Just remember, find a need and fill it. Whether it's with your mind, whether it's with your hand. You'll find. There's always a need somewhere.